pink grapefruit in a beer. What on earth's going on? This is pink grapefruit Jaipur from Thornbridge Brewing. So I've previously done a review video of Jaipur. It's an iconic English IPA. It was kind of partly responsible for kickstarting the craze for modern IPAs, which are now kind of classic IPAs now, back in the noughties, as a response to the American West Coast craze with all those American like Pacific side hops. So Thornbridge brought out Jaipur. It was hopped with, and I'm reading it here, Atanum, Cascade, Centennial, Chinook, Columbus, and Simcoe. So back in the noughties, these were huge hops, especially Simcoe, similar to Citra, big kind of citrus, juicy grapefruit. And then you had your more classic West Coast hops from the 80s and 90s, like Cascade and Centennial, Chinook, that were bringing that kind of earthy, piney, resinous flavors and aromas. And that was the big IPA craze. Atanum, I've not really brewed with before, but that's on the same lines. So this is a really, really, really iconic IPA from England that is American leaning, but they kind of, it's called Jaipur because, you know, India Pale Ale, everyone knows the story, the British Empire and sending beers to India, and they needed high hops. So they didn't go stale during the long journey and blah, 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 blah. So essentially, Thornbridge made Jaipur to be, yes, we're English and we produced IPA, we invented IPA. So we're going to brew it that way, but we're going to throw all of these cool American hops in. So it's not like a big kind of West Coast IPA from America. It is an English IPA hopped with American hops. And it just blew up massively and everyone loved it. And it kind of was, you know, in part responsible for the huge craze. And now here we are in 2026 with your big English breweries who are famous for hazy beers and all sorts going on. And there's just a huge industry for craft beer in the country. And this is the 20th anniversary beer that they released. They released a bunch of them. So there was like Jaipur on the Union, which is that special fermentation method using the Burton Union system. They had Jaipur, I think, like a special anniversary can, and then this one, which is pink grapefruit Jaipur. So released as a special edition for the 20th anniversary of the beer. Essentially, it's Jaipur, but they've also added in pink grapefruit. So I think that just means they've literally put pink grapefruit juice into the beer. So very, very interesting. I mean, those kind of American hops are big on the grapefruit flavors. So this is just going to super max the grapefruit on the beer. So I imagine this is going to be interesting. Maybe you might catch me with my first sip being a little bit whoa, because I always get taken aback by sharp flavors. That's just my my palate. But yeah, I've had this in the fridge for a while and I thought it's time to crack open the pink grapefruit Jaipur. So here we go. Thornbridge 20th anniversary Jaipur with pink grapefruit. All right, I'm giving it a big head. I'm gonna get that big aroma. So there you have it. Got a beautiful Samuel Smith glass actually. All right. There you go. Okay, so very, very light color in the glass. It looks like a, I don't know, like a lime cordial or something. That's the color it's got. Little bit of haze, but nothing anywhere near as hazy as your modern day beers. Very, very light. It looks like it's just brewed with, like, I don't know, um, Pilsner Light or something, barley, like the lightest of the light barley you can get. A fly has decided to join the party in the beer. Thanks very much. A really, really nice head on the beer. So impressive that they've got this beer to so light with such a head on it. So let's have a look. It has, yeah, barley and wheat. So they must go with a super, super light uh, Pilsner malt or something like that. And then a little bit of wheat. I'd say maybe 5% wheat or something like that for the head retention. And there you go. Absolutely fantastic head retention on it. But let's see what it smells like. Wow. Really, really fresh and bright smelling beer. That pink grapefruit is dominating. So I remember, the proper Jaipur without the pink grapefruit, it is very, very American hop smelling. But this is kind of like very, very light, bright malt aroma, and then this really nice pink grapefruit, fresh, ripe pink grapefruit. Not the pith or anything, the flesh of the pink grapefruit that I'm smelling. It is really, really, really nice. Yeah. Also, a bit of lemon going on with that. Again, not lemon peel and not super sharp lemon. It is a really ripe lemon fresh aroma. So pink grapefruit and a bit of lemon mixed with a really light, soft touch malt aroma going on. Mm. It smells like a healthy breakfast of fruits. See what it tastes like. Oh wow. Yeah, they've just maxed out the grapefruit on it, but it's not overly sharp or too acidic. It is really kind of blended in very well in the beer. Um, wow, it's just insane in terms of, like, when I first tried Jaipur, it blew me away in how they were getting those American hops to sing, but still keep it, fairly consistent with what an English style IPA should be like, but without, too much of the kind of caramelly flavors and blah blah blah. It was a marriage, and this is, again, they've married in the pink grapefruit into the beer so that it is the prominent aroma and the prominent flavor, but it doesn't feel like it's separate and forced upon you. It is blended into the beer really well. So that is impressive. Yeah, man. It's really right in the middle pocket in terms of the grapefruit, where it's enough for you to be like, yeah, that is grapefruit, but it's not too far that it kind of lines your tongue, or makes you, not too bitter. It is perfectly kind of like enough, to the point where that it's really, really refreshing. And this would be unbelievable on a hot summer's day. Unbelievable on a hot summer's day. Like drinking a saison or something that is acidic but lightly acidic. It's not like your sour beer. It's just lightly acidic and very, very refreshing on a hot day. This is what this is coming across as. So yeah, really nice. My glycol chill has just kicked on. I've got a Munich Helles in the fermenter right now. Um, just slowly kicking off. Actually, I'm going to ferment it under pressure. Anyway, getting sidetracked. This is a really great beer. Really, really great. Jaipur, just in general, is, for me, it is like the Sierra Nevada, um, of the like the modern English IPA. Um, it's just one of those iconic beers that put on display what's possible in modern British craft breweries. And now we just have so many utterly fantastic craft breweries. We've had, a long history of beer in England, and it was a lot of cask ale and bitters and pale ales and stuff. It were all really fantastic. And then in the noughties, you had stuff like this that came out, and it was like, yeah, we can also join the modern party with your modern hops and really dance on the tongue. Um, I know some, proper old school English people, your flat cap, whereas in the pub, they despise grapefruit in a beer. That's alien to them. Um, but I really like it. Of course, I like all sorts of beer, and grapefruity West Coast beers are really really nice. And so to put actual pink grapefruit in the Jaipur, it's pretty special for a 20th anniversary, for sure. Our flagship IPA Jaipur already brings a vibrant grapefruit character from its 6 hop blend, but we wanted to take that citrus intensity a step further by adding pink grapefruit. There you go. We're amplifying the fresh, zesty profile to create an even bolder experience, bringing a new layer of bright, tangy sweetness that perfectly complements the beer's natural hop bitterness. That is absolutely bang on. Like, they probably sat down and thought, what are we going to do? Let's add some actual grapefruit juice into it. But we got to blend it in perfectly, and they've absolutely nailed it. So I would love to know how much pink grapefruit, what the ratio is, and when they added it, and how, and all this kind of stuff, because that's fantastic, man. I would love to brew a beer like this, like, and also, like, imagine, yeah, man, imagine like these New Zealand hops, and you got like lychee or something. Can you imagine adding lychee juice or passion fruit or something to make just a bolder, like New Zealand hopped beer, and but like this, not your kind of cartoonish, too far, kind of, dominating. This is blended into the beer. Um, yeah, man, I feel like Thornbridge are onto something with this beer, and they shouldn't let this go in terms of just it being a 20th anniversary special. This kind of fruiting of a beer, but like kind of less in your face, more blended, more integrated. I'm here for it, man. I'm not a big fan of like overly fruited beers. I think it doesn't do well for me, but that does. That really does. I'd drink that again. I've only got one can, and I think it's done now. I don't think you can get any more, but that is wonderful. Yeah, it's tangy. Uh, there is bitterness there, but it's not nothing crazy. It's kind of like, it just tastes like they got the best, freshest hop harvest ever. Like they've got hold of the greatest batch of, Cascade, Centennial, Simcoe ever, and they're all just singing at maximum levels, which we know it's not true. They've added actual grapefruit flesh into this, but that's what it drinks like, which is super impressive. It doesn't drink like there is like grapefruit juice in it. It drinks like the hops are doing this, and it's just an amazing batch of hops or something. So how they've managed to do that and blend it like that is, yeah, really good. Really, really good. Hats off to Thornbridge for smashing it on their 20th anniversary. As a beer, it's a beer that British people can be proud of. Um, for sure, the brewery's got to be proud of Jaipur. Still going strong, still tastes absolutely fantastic 20 years on. It's now in its 21st year. Um, still up there, still a crowd pleaser. If I saw it in the pub on tap, I'd definitely head straight for a Jaipur. I'd love to. I haven't tried a Jaipur on cask, but I imagine that's absolutely fantastic. I was trying to get my hands on the Jaipur from the Union, but I haven't managed to get hold of it. So if anyone sees that anyway, if that's still knocking about, let me know in the comments, because I really want to try the Union brewed beer, because that interests me. I was watching Wheatlow Brewery the other day. They was doing like a live stream. They've built a Burton Union system, but a mini one, and they just live streamed it all night as it was fermenting. It just looks crazy. It looks like a crazy contraption of yeast. Just yeah, man. If you don't know what it is, I to be honest, I don't really understand it. I haven't read it too much, but it's like a it's like a, a cool ship. Is that what it's like? Like a tray, like a cool ship kind of tray, and then there's all these feeder pipes from, I don't know if they're kegs or different like fermentation vessels, like maybe like 6 of them, and there's beer wort in each fermenting, and as it's fermenting, it kind of overflows and then flows back down or something, and it mixes together, and it's like aerating the yeast. It's a bit like an open fermentation, but also not open. Yeah, I need to read up on that, but it looks like a crazy contraption, but I imagine it produces something special. So yeah, that's really nice. It is really nice. And as it's warmed up a bit, it's just bringing a little bit more sweetness. Um, and pulled it out of the fridge at about 7.5 degrees. Um, and now it must be, I don't know, 9, 10 in the hand. And it is like softly sweet, and then just grapefruit, but without the sharp edge of grapefruit. It is, a sweet grapefruit, like the kind of grapefruit you dream of getting. Like, sometimes grapefruit can be overwhelming in the mouth, mate. Bit too bitter, a bit too acidic, and then sometimes you get a grapefruit and you're just like, boom! That is an absolute beauty of a grapefruit, and that is an absolute beauty of a grapefruit beer. So there you go. Pink grapefruit Jaipur. Brewery's absolutely smashed it. Happy 20th birthday to Jaipur. An absolute iconic beer from Thornbridge, who nailed adding actual grapefruit to the beer. And I've enjoyed this pint, and I might have another beer. See what else we got.